A 3-needle bind off is a way of binding off that you'll come across sometimes in patterns. Usually it's very useful for doing the seam of the shoulder seam of a sweater. So you'll join the front and the back of the sweater together at the shoulder seam here. It's usually worked with the right sides of your work facing each other. So you've got your knit side here and your knit side here. You put those facing one another so your wrong sides are on the outside. That way your seam ends up being on the inside of your work. So you'll have the back piece, the back side of your work is going to be, you will end having just worked a purl row so that you're ready to work a right side row, and you can just break your yarn. You're not going to need that. Your front piece, you will end having just worked a right side row. Now you're ready to begin a wrong side row and leave your yarn attached to your ball. This is the yarn that's going to work the 3-needle bind off. So holding your stitches parallel to one another and with your 3rd needle, hence the name, you're going to begin by going into the first stitch as if to knit, and you're also going to go into the first stitch of the back needle as if to knit. So you've gone through both stitches and you'll knit them. I find it's good to go up through the first loop and make sure that you've got your got that one knit, and then come up through the second one. So you've actually just knit those 2 stitches together and slide them both off. And now we'll knit the second set of stitches. And then using either tip, it doesn't really matter, whichever one's easier for you, you'll perform the regular bind off. Just pull that first stitch right over the second stitch. So we'll do a few more, go through the first guy and the back guy and knit them together. And then bind off in the normal way. And basically what this does is it saves you from having to seam your shoulders together later. You can just leave your stitches live when you finish the back of your sweater. Leave the shoulder stitches on a needle or on a stitch holder, and then when you get to the end of the front side of your sweater, you can simply take those live stitches on the front and join them to the back with this method. And so you can see how nice and neat that's coming out. On the inside there's just a very, very minimal seam. And on the right side you've got an incredibly lovely join. And of course when you get to the end, we'll just pretend I've bound off all those stitches. When you get to your last stitch, just like normal, you just break your yarn and pull your stitch through just like you normally would for any regular bind off. And that is the 3-needle bind off.